It was true then, and it's still true that, when women have to cross state lines for legal abortions, certain women, certain people are left behind.
Mhm.
Large groups of people, people that can't afford to travel. They can't afford the cost of a plane ticket or a bus ticket, or, then they don't have access to a car or a tank of gas, or they don't have a place to, you know, put their children, because many of these were already mothers, looking to terminate maybe the fourth or fifth or sixth pregnancy. Um, or they didn't have the luxury of taking time off of work. And so, this was primarily low income women and young women, disproportionately brown and black women who were stuck. They were left behind. And their very best option, and it was quite a good one, was to turn to Jane. The worst option, people who didn't have the resourcefulness or the luck or the connections to find Jane, you know, could, turn to the mob or to back alley abortionists, or and if they couldn't find that, they may have, self-inflicted some harm. They might have tried to self-induce. And a lot of those women ended up in the septic abortion ward at Cook County Hospital, which is a dumping ground from all over Chicago for women who presented with bleeding or injury from a induced abortion. And when they got there, they were interrogated by police as to what, who had done this to them. And if they were lucky enough to survive, to live another day, that was great. But many of them didn't. Many of them were damaged beyond repair, and too many, died. And just to be clear, this is for a very simple medical procedure. We're talking about a procedure that is commonplace. 1 in 4 people of childbearing age with a uterus have an abortion. And we're talking about a procedure that's safer than a colonoscopy and a tonsillectomy and is far safer than childbirth.
Mhm.
They're not dying because there's anything inherently dangerous about the procedure. They were dying because they couldn't get one safely in in a clinic situation.
The amount of women that died and were injured, and up against how safe the procedure is, makes you realize how little the practitioners out there at the time cared. That's a tough pill to swallow, you know. Nobody should be dying from this procedure. You're in a country where the government is saying that they don't value women's lives. I guess it's not surprising how unscrupulous the people out there in the back alleys, and some were doctors that were in it for themselves, who injured, murdered, sexually assaulted, sterilized women. It's just none of that has to be the case here. And so yes, it's an incredibly simple procedure that a group of young, some of them were 19 years old, were able to take on and do safely, just because they cared